What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's Daniel, and welcome back to the video. Today, I'll be previewing RFK Racing as we head into the 2024 NASCAR Cup Series season. So anyways, let's go ahead and just jump straight into it. The first driver we're going to talk about from RFK Racing is, of course, the owner of the organization, Brad Keslowski. Brad Keslowski once again will pilot the number 6 car for RFK Racing in 2024. Now, Brad Keslowski had a really solid year in 2023, where he's able to make the playoffs and actually made it to the round of 12 as well. Unfortunately, though, he got eliminated in the round of 12 after some not-so-great races. Didn't end up winning at Talladega, got involved in a wreck there, and then, of course, got eliminated at the Charlotte, where he's kind of historically struggled at road courses over the course of the last few years. But he, like I said, he was able to make the playoffs in 2023, so it was a pretty solid year overall for Brad Keselowski. Going into 2024, while it's not been officially announced, it's expected that Matt McCall is going to be the crew chief for Brad Keselowski once again. Now, what are the goals for Brad Keselowski going into 2024? Well, the first big goal for Brad Keselowski going into 2024 is end his winless streak that he has. Brad Keselowski's last NASCAR Cup Series win came in the 2021 spring race at Talladega Superspeedway, and he's come very close in 2023, but I feel like he wants to win in 2024. Now, he's won some exhibition races in the last year or two with RFK Racing, but I think he wants to finally win a points-paying race and almost won the Fall Bristol race in 2022 as well. The other big goal for him is to make the playoffs, which with how strong the RFK organization was in 2023, I think Brad Keselowski is easily going to make the playoffs, and I think he's even going to be better in 2024 than he was in the 2023 season. I expect Brad Keselowski to improve, and I think he's going to finally end that winless streak that he's had for a very, very long time. In fact, I've got him not only winning one race, but I think he gets 2 victories in the 2024 season. I think he makes a deep run in the playoffs and could be the potential sleeper pick for the championship this year in 2024. It's going to be an exciting time for RFK Racing fans. Like I said, Brad Keselowski overall had an amazing and fantastic year with this organization, and I do expect Brad Keselowski to have a very good and really strong year in 2024. I'm excited to see what he can do, and I think he, like I said, will finally end that winless streak and be a championship threat and championship contender in the 2024 NASCAR Cup Series season. The only other full-time driver that will be driving for RFK Racing in 2024 is Chris Buescher. Chris Buescher once again will pilot the number 17 car for RFK Racing in 2024. Now, Chris Buescher in 2023 had his breakout season. He scored 3 wins in the 2023 season, those coming at Richmond, Michigan, and then, of course, he won later in the season as well. Chris Buescher actually won a Daytona, so he had a really strong year on every type of track, and as the year progressed, this 17 team got much, much stronger. Unfortunately, they kind of faltered when they got to the round of 8, but so for them to make it to the round of 8 when it's a team that was like 22nd or 23rd in the points in 2022 is a massive and major improvement for the organization overall. And Chris Buescher went from someone who, like I said, kind of been improving in the Cup Series to being a driver who consistently was a championship threat and contender throughout the whole entire season. In like the Winston Cup era points, he would have been in contention to win that championship. Now, once again, in 2024, what's not been officially announced, Scott Grace is expected to be the crew chief for Chris Buescher, which both those guys have really excelled and done a really good job together, working together for the last 4 or 5 seasons in Cup. I think that this pairing is going to continue their strong work together in 2024. Now, what are the goals for Chris Buescher going into 2024? Well, the big goal for Chris Buescher obviously is to win more races. Now, I think Chris Buescher is going to only win 1 race in 2024, but I think they're going to have a much better start of the season. I could also see him maybe getting multiple victories throughout 2024, but as of right now, I predict that he's only going to get 1 NASCAR Cup Series victory in the 2024 season. I just don't see him being as strong as his teammate throughout the year. I think he's got a little bit of fall off here in the wins column. And obviously, I think another goal for Chris Buescher in 2024 is to win his first Cup Series championship, which again, I think he's going to be really, really good. I think he's going to be extremely consistent. The big question will be, can he break out of that round of 8 slump he had, and can he go out and have a very good run? Picker was 1 point near the end of the year, and I think it could be a very solid year for Chris Buescher. But I think Chris Buescher has really proved himself over the course of the last couple seasons, and I think it's going to be overall just a really great a very fun year for Chris Buescher fans and RFK fans in general because, like I said, Chris Buescher was really good in the 2023 season, and I expect him to be about as good in 2024. Maybe less victories than he had in 2023, but again, I think it's overall going to be a pretty good and pretty solid year for this number 17 team going into the 2024 NASCAR Cup Series season. The final car we're going to be talking about is Stage 60. That's right, RFK Racing is going to have a third car in the Daytona 500 in 2024. They are going to run this car with David Reagan, who of course has driven for RFK Racing in the past when they were called Roush Fenway Racing. He drove for them from 2007 up until the end of the 2011 season. And David Reagan almost won the Daytona 500 in 2011 and also won the Daytona July race later that season as well. Now, when you think about this 60 car, this is the most historic number in Roush Fenway Keslowski Racing's history. It's been the winningest number in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Drivers like Mark Martin won quite a lot. Carl Edwards have won in that car, and Greg Biffle has also won in that 60 car as well. Now, Brad Keselowski didn't really state anything, but they are maybe going to run potentially some more races into the 2024 season. They may run like 3 or 4 races throughout the year, but it would have to be viable and would have to be where they're making a little bit of money because they're going to be losing money on this car. Now, it's also been noted, there was an article that came out from Kelly Crandall recently, that this car is not going to be an R&D car. They're actually putting a lot of effort into this car. Now, who could we see in the 60 car in 2024? Potentially, we could see some drivers in the IMSA world, that being drivers like Jenson Button, who I think is going over to Ford in 2024, and he's also driven the 15 car for Rick Bar Racing in the past. I also think that there's a good chance that Mike Rockefeller is going to drive this car, considering Mike Rockefeller is going to be joining the Ford GT3 group in 2024. I think he's got a good chance to drive a seat if they run the road courses. I also think there's a really good chance and possibility that maybe Cole Custer and Riley Herbst from Stewart-Haas Racing may get some opportunities. I know they're both affiliated with the team, with Stewart-Haas Racing, but Ford, I think, really is high on both those drivers, and I could see both those guys getting an opportunity and shot. Maybe Carl Edwards comes out of retirement and drives a 60 car. It's probably not likely at this point. Maybe some crazy stuff, it could happen, and Carl Edwards gets a job opportunity. And what about a driver like Hailie Deegan? I could see Hailie Deegan getting her first ever Cup start with this organization and teams. I think there's a good chance she will make her Cup debut at some point this year. It may not be till the end of the year, but I could see this car running multiple different races, and I think it's really exciting to see RFK because they're obviously talking about expanding into the future. Obviously, talking about going to IMSA down the road, but nonetheless, I think this is pretty huge moves and really cool to see that they're looking to expand and run a third car in 2024. Overall, RFK was probably the most improved team from 2022 to the 2023 season. And like I said, I think this overall is going to be a pretty strong year for the RFK Racing Group. I think it's going to be a fun year for the RFK Racing fans. Their social media presence is absolutely incredible. And I'm very excited to see what RFK Racing can do into the 2024 NASCAR Cup Series season. It's going to be really fun, really, really exciting, and I cannot wait for the 2024 season. We'll have to wait to see how things go down for this organization and team in the 2024 season. So, that is going to be it for the 2024 RFK Racing Preview. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and support my Patreon as well. Links below that, and comment your thoughts below on today's video. How well do you think RFK Racing is going to perform in the 2024 NASCAR Cup Series season? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. There may be a second video up on the channel later today. There could be some breaking news that drops throughout the day. Tomorrow on the channel, likely you'll see a Spire Motorsports team preview dropping on the channel. Then on Friday, there should be a NASCAR news video going out on the channel. And then on Saturday, we'll likely be ranking every 2024 Cup track. And then, of course, on Sunday, we will have the Xfinity Series predictions dropping on the channel. Got a lot of great content dropping on the channel that I cannot wait for you guys to check out. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode. And I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.